Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel. Conversations, other interesting things that we decided to talk about, or I decided to talk about. Yeah, wow, Thursday, hard to believe. I didn't even myself in question. Say Thursday, is it Wednesday? I don't know. Wow, what a day yesterday. Just taking care of family and being at the hospital midnight and just it just doesn't end. Yeah, progressing in life's not easy. If anybody here has family and his parents, they understand all that language. Good news is nothing radical going on, but when you're taking care of your mother and father and things seem to be happening in their lives, you got to do what you got to do. And good news is everything's fine. It's just sometimes I think we kind of need help, and we look to others and we ask for help. And what do you do when people ask for help, right? And look at this trailer. Bought this trailer to help get the bikes back, and I've got the trailer all set up today to help teach my daughter how to drive a truck and trailer. Between my wife and even some of my subscribers, they're saying, hey, your kid hasn't driven a truck and trailer over long distance, and you're kidding yourself on that truck back to Virginia. That's basically about a 1,000-mile drive. And I don't disagree with that. I don't know if I do agree with that. So for me, my thoughts are, let's load up the truck and trailer, which we did this yesterday, and let's run this thing up on the highways, and I'm going to drive it, and I'm going to see how this thing behaves. Because if anybody's a truck and trailer driver, they'll know that you get these trailers can start walking on you behind you, and if you don't know how to handle that, that turns into a really bad situation. And look what I did here. If you watched my video yesterday, I created my own chocks, bought some 2x4s, and screwed them down so these wheels can't turn. I mean, the trailer's like perfect, really, for this setup. Even though I question if I have crash bars, which I'm going to put on this bike right here, you know, I'd have to stagger it, I think. I'd have to probably put like a block up here to keep the pressure on it to kind of push it back a little or something. I don't know. We're not at that problem today, but the bikes are all tied down and ready to go. And yeah, look at the weather. Yeah, here's a lawnmower, guys. Rain or shine, the noise is here. And so anyways, yeah, you know, yesterday is the first time I washed this Bronco. It's hard for me to believe that. I swear, I just can't remember. But I got it back, I think, in early November, if I remember right. And I don't think that I just don't think I cleaned this thing. I think I've cleaned this. I know I've cleaned this one time for the car show. It's getting trash out here with all these trees. Makes no sense. Yesterday, I finished up power washing this whole driveway. And what a project that was. You know, help my dad out. Yeah, so I'm using help. That's the theme of today's conversation, is help. That's kind of what we're going to talk about this morning. And say I'm going to talk about. Don't know why you've been saying we, but I guess if you're listening to me, you feel like you're part of it. Spent a good portion of yesterday afternoon power washing the driveway, and what a project that is. But you know, I think to myself, whoever designed and engineered this development, why you'd put in these trees? The trees just trash these homes. That just makes no sense why they would have done. It just makes no sense. For anybody here that's the tree expert, why? It just trashes the whole neighborhood. Why did you put this specific tree in the neighborhood? Because just as they say, you can just look at my vehicles, you can the driveway, so these acorns hit in the driveway, and they stain the driveway. These things here stain the driveway. If you look there, that acorn, yeah. You can't get that up. Oh, here they are. They are back. The troublemakers are back. Wow, I must be running late. A long day yesterday. Jesus Christ. So yeah, at the last second this morning, I'm not embellishing. I thought to myself, the word help could be the theme of the day. I need help right now. I better get the heck out. Yeah, here comes the troublemakers, right? I mean, yeah. Yeah, look how dark it is. Overcast. A little cooler. And the routine. And those two will distract me. So I'll lose my whole focal point here on my theme. So, anyways, yeah. So I got. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Here it comes. Here it comes. So I got to thinking to myself this morning. For us, we look for help. I mean, do we, as you know, as humans, we all. But sadly, a lot of people don't look for help. That's a whole other, conversation here. But we'll try to keep it the. There we go. Here's the baby. Hi, baby. Here she comes. The adventures of Poppy and the kid. Probably in the trash can over there. So yeah, so to kind of keep the here we go. It's beginning. Yeah, so anyway, so I thought to myself, help. It's such a broad meaning, but in today's society, are we hearing the word help like more than ever? I mean, are we? I think we are. Well, so to try to keep the automotive theme, here comes.
And there he is. Didn't get hit by the garage door.
Here we go. Giggles and giggles, right? So anyway, so we'll go to we'll keep the car theme to kind of keep the car channel going. So think about this: for Tesla, for Elon Musk, he went to the government, or maybe I should say the government went to him. How do you want to phrase it? For Elon Musk, he'll say, no. The government offered to help anybody that wanted to start an electric car vehicle company. Okay, so that's probably how he would word it. Not that I wanted help to start a company. Yeah, does everyone remember that the government, you as a citizen, gave Elon Musk $1 billion to get an automotive company started named Tesla to supposedly be the future vehicles to save the world? Yeah, so think about that. That just for Elon Musk, he needed help to get Tesla going. And yeah, he paid back the debt. I understand that. That's great. But he needed help to get going, correct? And so then you think about in today, fast forward, more than ever, the government is offering help to help manufacturers build battery factories, to build semiconductor factories, to take the green agenda ticket to build more automotive factories. So the government is helping a lot to get this EV movement going more than ever before. But then you go backwards and you think about the 2009 and 10 financial fiasco in this country, and the government had to help the likes of General Motors and Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep in a bankruptcy. And Ford was very creative. So what Ford did is they took billions of dollars, but they rephrased how they used that money. They used it to update their factories and make things better, and they sold off a lot of assets. So borderline, Ford was going down the same, path as General Motors and Dodge, but they got a little more creative in how they handled that and how they took the money. So Ford had to, needed help as well. Unbeknownst to even myself, I didn't even know that till a while back. Somebody actually responded to one of my videos and told me that. And I was like, wow, I didn't even really realize that. So, the government helped the domestic automotive industry here to get through its incredibly challenging times. Just now 13 years ago. Wow, it's 2023. Jeez, Christ. Just incredible how time goes by so fast. So if you look in the automotive world, it seems like the word help is even to the point that the automotive manufacturers help Elon Musk with carbon footprint or tax credits, being that the automotive manufacturers weren't meeting the EPA guidelines of their, the ruins of the manufacturing side and cars being produced to do harm to Mother Earth. And so Elon Musk has been collecting millions and millions of dollars, which we've been helping him sustain his his business model, because we've paid him so much money and monies. Just that you kind of like, you're grasping for air. You're just putting your hand out there. Kind of like the cryptocurrency thing. I mean, in so many ways, I look at that carbon footprint tax credit that Elon Musk got, kind Kind of sounds like the cryptocurrency, the monies that people made off that stuff of what's the value today versus what the value is tomorrow. And boy, it sure sounds like the value everybody thought it was sure never was, right? I mean, besides everybody just cashing out to help themselves enrich themselves. Yeah, I mean, more than ever, did we see a stock market and trades and cryptocurrency that helped the select few to enrich themselves more than ever? The mining operations that make the cryptocurrency, there's so much to that. What's the market's doing today? And this thing's gonna be probably hot as all heck out, but markets are just kind of floating around. Nothing really. It's really interesting how it's so stable. It just isn't radically up or down. I'd stop with this coffee. Yeah, I don't help myself cool that down, right? Put some ice in it. Yeah, so anyway, I just said to myself this morning, I mean, really, I just had nothing to give you because yesterday was a long day for me and taking care of family. And that's the thing. You know, who helps their family? And, you know, that's what you kind of see as you get older in life, the helpers versus the takers. I mean, the givers versus the, you know, I mean, it just really is interesting in society and how we have just such different, you know, we're so different in so many different ways, but you just totally see the givers in life and the takers. It's just incredible. And it seems like more than ever, the takers are growing by leaps and bounds. And the so-called helpers of society, the governing bodies, are creating the takers like we've never seen before. I mean, we witnessed just in the pandemic of all the, you know, money that was given out to help others through the pandemic, incredibly financial challenges. But there were so many takers that didn't even deserve to have the money, didn't even need the money. I mean, I witnessed this. Be unbelievable on how the government was trying to help people. But it's like a double-edged sword. I mean, it's just incredible. So just in the pandemic alone, our governing bodies wanted to help others, but there were so many people taking the help that abused the situation. Don't you hear all the stories of the people that took the payroll protection, the PP loans, that, you know, totally lied and received millions of dollars, are now going to prison? I think some even escaped, and I'm sure there's a ton more they haven't even caught. I guarantee it. I mean, I just see myself, there's so much of that money still floating around out there. I think there's so much payroll protection money, and sit at home and get paid money that people stocked away. That's probably why this country's not really going as south as fast as people think it is. I mean, I think a lot of people, even myself, thought that since the government turned off all the giveaway programs, that 2022 would be a very challenging year. And in so many ways, the automotive industry would probably tell you it was, but in general, it wasn't anything radical. I mean, I don't know. You heard that the repossessions were through the roof. I don't know. You drive around these neighborhoods that I live in and places I visit, there's not a for sale sign really in every corner. There's barely any for sale signs. Wouldn't the foreclosure, wouldn't the people that need help to sell their house have a for sale sign on their house to get out of it because they're in dire straits financially, so they try to sell their house? I'm just not seeing many for sale signs. Is anybody out there seeing for sale signs everywhere? I sure ain't, because that's the first thing that raises your alertness to people that need financial help. They're having to downsize or do whatever, cash out, or not everybody, but I don't see it. This neighborhood in this area here, I just see no for sale signs. Up north, nothing. Tennessee, just building everywhere. What I see is there's a custom house up here being built, and I called the builder about it, just curious of, you know, what he's trying to get out of it. It's not even for sale. The guy's swamped. The guy was basically, when I called him, he was basically like, you know, you're bugging me, dude. Here come the lawnmowers. Yeah, those guys will get you going for the morning with all the noise coming around. But yeah, that person's like, do I need your financial help? And that's the thing. I think to myself, you know, that he's beyond overboard, has too much work. He told me he's got custom homes being built all over the place down here in Florida. You know, I was a waste of his time. He doesn't have time for me. He doesn't need my help. So here it goes. There's a lawnmower guy right here on the doorstep, start in the morning. They weren't here last week. Got to thinking it's because it was so cold. Yeah, I don't think the grass didn't need their help because they didn't grow. It's so cold down here. Yeah, so I just think to myself, you know, help. What does help? well, in the end, when you ask for help, yeah, okay, so if you have insurance, why would you have insurance? Because that's your way to help yourself manage your exposure to bills, right? But to have that help, you need to have money to be able to pay for the insurance to help yourself. Just like doctors will see you, and medical facilities will see you, and technically they have to see whether they have insurance or not. But they're there to help you, but it costs money for them to help you. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole thing. When you think about help, and that's what I think to myself is just let's use like Ukraine. We're helping Ukraine, but I mean, what's the package deal? I mean, when you help somebody else, isn't there usually kind of like a value attached to that? I mean, if you're a person that goes around and helps assisted, living and other circumstances, aren't you usually a healthcare worker that gets paid for you helping others? If you're a firefighter, and I know there's volunteer firefighters, but if you're a firefighter or and you help others, aren't you actually, compensated for your helping others? I mean, so you can go through the list of how we help each other and help others, but there's always a value attached to that help, correct? I mean, does the sports industry help you have entertainment? Well, don't you have to usually pay to be able to watch that for the most part? I mean, you have to have an electronic device you have to pay a monthly subscription, or should I say a monthly fee to have an electronic device to be able to watch it on your device or your cable TV or whatever. But, the whole point is, the help, when you help others, or somebody helps you, there's a value to it. And that's what I was thinking to myself this morning is, wow, are we helping? It just seems like the word help is out there more than ever. I was just talking about the other day. Well, here's the thing. Let's go back to the car industry. The government has passed a bill that's going to help those buy a electric vehicle and get a tax deduction, like a $7,500 tax deduction. But in that bill, there's a lot of language that you had to have X amount of parts built domestically to enable you to get the full tax credit. So that was a very sparked bill from European and offshore manufacturers thought that they were being called out that someone wouldn't buy their product, and they would buy a domestic product because of they get a bigger tax incentive. So they didn't think that was a fair playing field, and they were very upset with the guy in office of signing that type of bill. But there's more to that, I guess. So yeah. So there's just an example of how you buying an electric vehicle helps you in a tax reduction, or you're going to say to yourself, if I buy an electric vehicle, it helps me on my gas bill for going to the gas station. Or you're going to say to yourself, if I buy an electric vehicle, it's going to help me save the world. If you really think that, which I think you're foolish to think that. That's not how it's playing out. It's not true. You got to have fossil fuels to make it, and you got to have fossil fuels to recharge it. But whatever, if that's what your beliefs are, great. I mean, that helps you feel better, that makes me feel better, right? Because I'm not going to argue with you, right? So, helping one another. So I just think this morning, where'd the help thought come from? Well, because I'm down here to help my mother and father. And, I've been, that's what I enjoy to do, and that's why I'm here, to help my mother and father. As we all progress, you can only hope one day you have somebody to help you, because as you get older, you need help. I mean, I think people get lost in all these comments, and to me, it intrigues me when people think that people want to go to the streets and fighting and everything else. And I just think, there's such a population of the young people, there's such a population of older people. They're not going to be in the streets. I just get people all revved up about, wanting to start this craziness in our country. That's, geez. Look at the craziness in the House Speaker. He needs help. Kevin McCarthy was hoping to be the House Speaker. It's not like that's going to happen. He's needing all the help he can. He's not getting the help in hand, right? He's putting his help, even to the point they're now speculating that he's going to the Democrats to get a helping hand to become Speaker of the House. And then he's going to play fair to them, okay? Have you heard these stories or this theory? Could you imagine Nancy Pelosi going to the Republican Party that couldn't get elected to be the House Speaker and telling everybody she's going to be nice to them if they would elect her? Would you believe it? Yeah, right. Yeah, so the GOP's had struggles. GOP can't figure out who they want to be their House leader, House Speaker. I should say the House Speaker. Just, oh my gosh. So that's a whole, and so that's ramping up the drama. And then look at Hamlin, the Buffalo Bills. That guy got help in the field immediately that probably made the difference in being alive today. Then I think of Ken Brock, he freaking, wow, yikes, Block. Can't think of the name right. Haven't had any coffee. Yeah, did he need help? I mean, initially, I don't think so. I think that was sadly an instantaneous impact that killed him. But at the same time, do we know that? Probably, that's probably factual. But, did he need help? Or did he need help with that new snowmobile he's riding? Did anybody, look and say, look, this thing's such a wild machine. This thing's going to do a dance on you. I have no idea on that. The guy's incredibly talented, incredibly sad story. But then I think about, here's California just passed a law to help children change their identity. Wow. So, I think what I'm trying to say this morning is it seems like the help, let's look at Lon here. Did Lon, Lon served the military to help others, right? Protect our country. Lon signed up to be a congressman to help his state, right? He was a helper. So I just think, thinking to myself, so the help is the word help. Is Elon Musk seeking help? I mean, Elon Musk, the TT man, Tesla and Twitter guy. So on Twitter, what was that? What was his motivation to buy Twitter? I mean, it's obvious he's wanting to expose a lot of dirt, a lot of dirty laundry. Was that the idea that he's helping us understand that more than ever that the social media machine is an extremely dangerous machine that's extremely misleading people? Is that Elon's real underlying goal? Was he trying to share with the world that these social platforms do devious things to people and make them think a certain way? That's just the devil's workshop to a degree. I don't know, but back to California. Gavin Newsom's helping the children become a different gender. Wow, but this actually helping them, and that's what I'm trying to convey this morning. There's so many things that like Ukraine. What are we helping Ukraine accomplish? I mean, in the end, does Ukraine really take over Russia? Meaning, does it really, does Russia finally leave Ukraine? Did we really help? Did we really help them for better or for worse? And there's a fine line there. I just think to myself, in so many aspects of our life, there's such a fine line there of what you think you're helping. Like my dad always says, no good deed goes unpunished. Yeah, who hasn't done that? Who hasn't tried to help somebody or do something for somebody? In the end, it's a fiasco. And you're just like, I can't believe what I've just played out in my life, where I went out of my way to help this person. It could be family, a friend, business, maybe a homeless person. Who knows? And in the end, you're just tarnished. I mean, who hasn't? If you've been around long enough, you know these stories. And so in one aspect of life, helping somebody's a phenomenal thing to do. But at the same time, what are you helping them accomplish? And I think to myself, just an example, like my brother's house next door is the meth house next to him. Well, the mother apparently was a teacher, and she had a son and a girl. And then they grew up, and the girl ran away because she saw how screwed up her mother was with raising her son, and had some man living there that just was kind of weird. And so then as time progressed, the son then got somebody pregnant, and he had a son, and then it even turns into more of a fiasco. Well, meanwhile, from what I understand, this guy's never had a job in his life because his mommy fed him his addictions. So his mother helped him become just a really, a meth guy. The guy is probably my age, maybe a little younger. I would say, I would say he's probably late 40s. I would guess maybe he's probably late 40s. And so, he's younger than me. That's the whole point. I'm not going to try to help myself sound younger, right? So, in that scenario, the mother helped create the environment that guy is next to my brother's house, which is just, disgusting. The guys, and I mean, the police can't do anything. It's beyond, you don't take them the wrong way. The police, you go through the routine. The guy goes to court. He gets a lawyer. They beat the system. This stuff goes on all over the time. I mean, yeah, it's helping him be a criminal, basically, for all the things he's done to others, and others have died around him, and the list goes on and on and on. But the whole point is, did his mother help him? No, didn't help him. Yeah, she helped him become a drug addict in the world. Who hasn't heard these stories where the parents, just give the kids money and they never have to go out in the real world and go to work and be self-sufficient? How does that, we all know feed the man or a fish or teach the man to fish. We all know that's saying in life, right? And I mean, you look at New York, they're helping assist people in doing drugs. I mean, does that make a younger person think that they want to do drugs now, that they can go experiment with them because they've got an on-site facility to help them experiment with drugs? Did that maybe change their views? Does the transgender change for a young person, knowing that in California nobody can go after them per se, make their view look differently to help them change? That, that they're now like, okay, well, I can do that. But before, I mean, so is that really helping them? I don't know. I mean, there's a very fine line there. It's just like electric vehicles. Is it really going to help Mother Nature, Mother Earth, really become a better world because if we're driving around in electric vehicles? I mean, is that, what's interesting is Yamaha, they're noisy, aren't they? See, have to deal with all day. Be here. Look, I mean, this.
Popcorn thought that the ras milk, so he poured it all in his coffee. He poured it all in his coffee.
Poor guy. He needs help, right? Yeah, it's a kid helping. Yeah, the entertainment. Yeah, those two need help, right? I need help. Can anybody help me? Help! I'm trapped. I'm trapped in Florida. Anyway. Yeah, look at Amazon. Yeah, so is it Kathy Wood just bought $19 million or $19 million in shares of Tesla? Wow. Yeah, now they're saying the Tesla stock's getting so low, all the big investors are going to start gobbling it up. So it probably won't ever really get that low. So maybe the $120 mark, 100 and whatever it was down, the low $100 mark is just a temporary thing because all the big guys and big gals are going to buy up the Tesla and help Elon back out by driving it through the roof again, because all the big wigs are going to take advantage of the low stock price and make their millions upon millions on companies making labor changes. What was that all about? Oh, look at that. Salesforce, 8,000 off. Amazon, they're laying off 18,000 or something. Made of it. There's 11,000 workers. I just think to myself, there's so many gloom and doom YouTubers out there, and they're predicting everything that is coming to an end. They're helping fuel the fear, or that's what they do. I think they help fuel the fear that everybody's going broke. I'm not seeing it. Anybody really seeing it? I mean, does anybody have any personal stories that they have friends and family that have lost their house, lost their cars, lost their job? I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, is anybody kind of seeing this? I mean, I'm not really hearing this. I'm hearing more of employers are looking for people to work, don't want to work. I'm hearing people are holding on to their houses. I mean, I don't know. I think people are pulling back, but I don't think it's radically being pulled back. I don't know. So, anyways, just here talking about this morning about how, help. How do we help? Who do you help? Or do you need help? I mean, that's all in our ballgame in our society. All these people are on these drugs. They need help. I mean, what's going on? But they won't raise their hand and ask for help. And instead, they raise their hand to buy more drugs, which it's a major problem. Oh, it's interesting to hear about how in schools, think about this. So right now, and this is factual, in this country, there's 1.3 million less in the public school system. And this Congress article, and it's very interesting because what they use is the pandemic. They basically saying the pandemic has created a loss of public school enrollment. Not, it's not school enrollment in general, but for public schools, and if you don't notice or not, in Baltimore City abused the heck out of it, but you have to have X amount of pupils in school for you to qualify for state funds to run the public school and federal as well. And if you don't have enough pupils, then you don't get enough money to keep the school open. You have to close it. So apparently, a lot of these schools in Colorado and maybe like Illinois and California, they're closing lots of public schools. And they go on and on about the pandemic, and they just kind of talk about it, but they never bring up in the conversation about how, does everybody remember like the summer 2020? I think it was, and maybe 2021, I just can't keep track all this time, is all the teachers unions telling the parents that, suck it up, buttercup, we're going to teach your kids whatever we feel like teaching your kids. There she goes. And you have no say for this? Does anyone remember that the public school system basically telling parents that just go home? We have the say over what we teach your kids and just shut up. Does anyone remember this? You remember in Loudoun County, Virginia, the guy that had a daughter that was molested in a girl's bathroom by a boy dressed up in a girl's outfit, and he got thrown out of the parents' meeting there in Loudoun County, Virginia, and he was tarnished as a radical patriot Trump guy, that's just a radical bad guy, as Loudoun County hid the information of his daughter being sexually molested. Does anyone remember this? So this just blew me away in this article. Not a reference of, hey, the teacher unions have irked so many parents that they've taken their kids out of public schools. The teacher unions have irked so many people that are homeschooling their kids. The teacher union, don't get me wrong, anybody here watching my YouTube channel, you can be a teacher, and God bless if you're a teacher. I'm not here to call you out, but it's apparent that many people don't like the position of the teacher unions telling you how you can raise your kid, and in the teacher the teacher unions telling everybody that the COVID thing needs to last forever, and your kid can't go back to school. It's got to stay home and basically look at a computer all day and learn how to read and learn how to learn education. And the irony of all that is for the teachers, they're like, what's the big deal? Well, if you're a parent that has to go to work every day, how do you manage your young kids? Where's that conversation, right? So to me, it sounded like, oh, wow, this is amazing that the public schools are seeing less people enroll their kids that are going to private schools, charter schools, and homeschooling. Yeah, I wonder why, everybody. Hello, because the public school system is letting it's just, wow. Yeah, is it comforting you as a parent? And so then I was thinking about the Baltimore schools, city schools. They were falsifying attendance to keep their schools continue to get funds to keep their schools and their teachers on payroll when they were totally lying about attendees of a school. They weren't even attending the school so that people wouldn't lose their job. Yeah, we're just, help, right? Yeah, I mean, I think in so many aspects in today's life, a lot of these governing bodies need help. One of the governing bodies just raise their hand and say, look, we need help because we're destroying this country. We're ruining this country. When does the city administration raise their hand and go, hey, we need some help? Because it just seems like the things that are going on, I mean, what's really interesting is a lot of the Democratic-held cities are totally reversing their defund the police, totally reversing the district attorneys that are wanting to make the lawless cities. In fact, Mayor Burrell of Washington, D.C., she's in a major argument with sitting members on the councils there in D.C. about how they're totally wanting to take away criminal offenses. Yes, in D.C. right now, they're getting ready to pass a bill that's going to make it, for the most part, that anybody wants to commit crimes in D.C., nothing's going to happen to you unless you kill somebody. Yeah, if you think I'm making that up, I'm not making it up. Mayor Burrell is actually a Democrat mayor is raising her hand saying, whoa, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea to have a lawless city. No. So it's very interesting how a lot of these, and for me, I'm like, okay, at least they're raising their hand. I mean, even the governor of New York that lady, even she's kind of starting to take a different position on policing, but did agree, not much. But I mean, but it's interesting. And then here's another thing. Apparently, the Democratic mayor or Colorado or governor, wherever he is, he's shipping illegals. He's now flying illegals out of his state. He's shipping them somewhere else. He's so sick of the border baloney. Yeah, when do these governing bodies that hold a position that they think that they're that they're just the most special, incredibly talented person in the world that's smarter and bigger than you, when do they raise their hand and say, I need help. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Yeah. Will that ever happen? Pfft, yeah, right. That'll never happen. Never happen. Sadly. Will they raise their hand and say, you know what? I took this responsibility. I can't handle this responsibility. I need to resign. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep, right. Yeah, they need serious help. We have some political people have been voted into office from people that I would have to say need serious help as well. What are you seeing? What are you seeing these people that you think these are the right choices? Wow. Yeah, it got political, but I don't care. Who cares? Yeah, I mean, I'm here just telling the way it is. You probably don't want to hear it. That's the reality. I'm not taking sides in either party. I mean, I've said that many times. I bring up Trump all the time. What did Trump do? Trump looked to help to beat the election, right? He got people all riled up to go down to go downtown January 6th to help him make the point that there was a stolen election, correct? Am I correct? I mean, some people argue that, he didn't tell them. I never said that he said to go breach the Capitol. I just said he was looking for support and help to overturn the election. Am I right or wrong? He was looking for the Electoral College not to be certified. Am I right or wrong? How'd that all... Yeah, we know how that played out. It played out into a fiasco. It's ongoing. Yeah, do you know how many participants out there need a lot of help right now? Where's that conversation? Yeah. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching my YouTube channel, and I helped you maybe think about things differently and see things differently. I have no idea. I'm just here to share my ideas and views and thoughts. I just enjoy doing that. That's just who I am. And I hope it helps you. And what am I going to do now? Well, eventually here, hopefully I'm going to help my daughter learn how to drive a truck and trailer on highway speeds and see how she does. And so we're going to kind of see how that plays out. We'll probably do a little video on that and see. I don't know if there's much to show on that, really. But I'm just hearing others raise their hand and tell me I need help on making that decision. I hear you. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm listening. Hey, we all need help. I get all that, right? So, hey, everybody, thanks for watching my channel. Appreciate all the nice comments. And stay safe. Stay tuned. And God